Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the front pages of the paper. Daily Sun. I know Nima has the story.
Yeah, I have the manufacturer story. So the Minister for Power, Adebayo Adelabu, was, decrying the trend of manufacturers, industries, and businesses abandoning the national grid in favor of captive power solutions. So he says that despite the 5,155 megawatts of electricity, which was, presently being generated, they are usually left unutilized because manufacturers have decided to continue to use captive power. And he said cost compared is even more expensive to do what they're doing. He said if you look at it, the average cost of generating electricity through captive power ranges from between 350 to 400 per kilowatt, which is higher than, the band A kilowatt, which most industries were put on. He says, and it can go as high as 950 naira per kilowatt. 350 to 400 if you're on gas, 950, between 950 if you're on diesel, and about 550 per kilowatt if you're on petrol. And he said because they want to restore confidence, the federal government is doing everything possible to guarantee the businesses that they'll give them consistent and adequate power to run their businesses at even a cheaper prices. They're looking, of course, to encourage them to come back on the national grid. And since they have improved, power, if I can attest to it myself,
yes,
I'm afraid now they're helping us ourselves to fan the meter. We check it and off what we need to off because they are refusing to off the lights. I used to be on it 1 day on, 1 day off. Now we are offing freezer because they will not off lights.
I think that's a good news for people that are concerned about this, because when the light is bad, we lament, and so when it is good, we should acknowledge. Similarly, we're acknowledging ghost workers. I don't understand. Ghost workers, dead workers. This Enugu State's, in keeping in line with the promise that the governor had made, the Governor Peter Amba had said he was going to clear out outstanding pension and gratuity inherited by in his administration. So the Enugu Secretary to the government, Chidebere Unia, said that the payments had commenced. 7,000 local government pensioners have received payments following the government's approval and the recommendation of the local government Pensioners Biometrics Verification Committee, which had conducted a verification exercise. They uncovered the fact that there were 2,680 ghost workers, as well as, ghost and deceased pensioners still on the payroll. They said that 7,109 local government pensioners are receiving their monthly payments, close to $500 million in July. And they also made a list of other areas that other people that have gotten their payments made. The liabilities and the backlog that they currently have are being dealt with. But here we understand why they keep doing biometrics verification, even though it might feel difficult for some pensioners to have to go through that process. It's because when people die, they don't get the report, or they don't file the report, or it's not synchronized enough that immediately somebody dies, pension stops. So pension keeps going out even though people have died. And then the fund is not enough. So verification might continue to take place for the foreseeable future. Moving on to the point, major headline. 1 year after inauguration, meet the performers, laggards in Tinubu's cabinet. Nigeria rates 70% below average, 6 urgent cabinet rejig. Investors' confidence grows in FIC market as turnover hits 30 trillion naira in July. Then we have herbalist flog boy to death while healing him of insanity.
Ew.
Deceased family wants son resurrected as police weighed in. Let those who want to destabilize Nigeria stop so that we can make progress. That's from MBF President Pogu. And Fresh Plus to remove Damagu. Loss of public trust deepen as in PDP crisis. So what story are we taking in The Point? The Point has a lot of interesting stories.
Well, let me take that herbalist flogs boy to death while healing him of insanity. Now, according to what they say here in Point newspaper, they said there was pandemonium in Amauda Nzashi community in Ikwo local government area of Ebonyi State. That's where it actually happened, following the tragic death of a young boy called Chinedu Nwanchor, who was allegedly flogged to death by an herbalist, Uchenna Iteshi. Now, Iteshi, they accused him of using sticks and everything to beat this boy to death while trying to deliver him from insanity. They said, according to information, they said he was suffering from his from mental. They said he just woke up and then started having mental. They say disorder, and then they took him to the herbalist, and the herbalist said, "Okay, don't worry, I'll cure him." And then the herbalist, his own way of curing him was to flog him. And flogged him till he actually lost his life. And then the family now went back to him and said, "Okay, we gave you our son, and he was okay when we gave you our son. So now return him back the way that we gave him to you." And that's what caused the chaos.
This is a very sad story because number one, the boy was well.
Yes, he
very
was.
recently he started exhibiting some form of mental illness, which could be related to any drug. But before he died, eyewitness account was that he had just gone out from the herbalist house where his family had left him and they used to go and check him to play football. That means he was okay. He had a full day of football, went back, and they saw club marks on him
his body
when the herbalist called his family members to come and see him. So he was already improving.
Honestly,
now, he was...
There's education, people know better. Nobody should be put
Herbalist, police intervened. Herbalist was arraigned before the magistrate's court, and his own lawyer, the herbalist lawyer, let me take it, that's where the comedy is. Intelligence, Ikwo, is his lawyer. He asked that the court should grant him bail and claims that this herbalist is a well-known healer in the community. He will not jump bail. Is that an intelligence statement?
His name is Intelligent already.
Is that the story you're going to take in the point?
Same story.
Oh, it's the same story.
All right. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune. Major headline. I think BC already told that story about court freezing 32 bank accounts earlier. And then we haven't taken the story of the fact that Ondo to host the biggest entrepreneurship festival in Africa. Event is meant to attract over 200 investors as Aida Tewa receives official license, assures organizers of hitch-free event. President Tinubu should act on calls for new constitution. That's from Ayakun. Terrorism. Federal government resumes trial of 300 suspects. And finally, who has the story of the malaria, Dangote or Tedola to drive the scourge?
I have it in the Vanguard, but I wanted to take NDLEA here. Okay, so Onitsha, that's an Anambra-based businessman, Ibeanusi, has excreted 68 wraps of cocaine after 12 days of excretion, observation following his arrest at the local wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. So the 36-year-old was arrested in the early hours of Thursday, August 8th, at the old domestic terminal of the airport while he was attempting to board the first flight out of Lagos to Abuja, where he was also scheduled to join Qatar Airways flying to Vietnam at the Nnamdi International Airport, Abuja, at about 10 a.m. that same day. So according to statements by the spokesperson of the NDLEA, Mr. Femi Babafemi, he said the suspect came under NDLEA surveillance following intelligence, and he had arrived Lagos from his base in Onitsha, Anambra State, the previous day, that's August 7th, lodged in a hotel where he swallowed the 68 wraps of cocaine before heading to the airport for 6:30 a.m. the next morning to fly out. So he was intercepted by the NDLEA operatives. They had to move him into that excretion observation place for the next 12 days while he removed everything that he had swallowed, weighing 1,282 kilograms. He won't kill himself. Then another Vietnam-bound businessman, a 54-year-old, his name is Paul, was also arrested by the NDLEA operatives of the Abuja airport August 12th. And he was also seeking clearance to, go to Qatar when he was, held. And amongst them, other people also were arrested. So this is a good job that NDLEA is doing. We keep talking about these drugs. Drugs are bad, drugs are good. People are thriving. People are doing businesses. They're not even afraid that they will be caught. The last time I passed the airport, I saw NDLEA officials actually opening boxes and checking. People will still carry their mind, swallow and pass, and want to pass there. Which juju are they doing that's giving them that sort of hope?
Moving on to Vanguard, our final paper for today. Major headline, executive order on medicaments. Federal government yet to implement 2 months after. Federal government is still working on implementation framework 2 months after, says the minister. And some people are of the opinion that delay is not worth it. People are dying. And we can't miss the picture. This is a very beautiful picture of Ulu of Warri as he honors FLNG boss. In other news, federal government moves to eliminate malaria and picks Dangote Otedola Elumelu to drive efforts. Catholic bishop has canvassed for regional government, and I think BC already took that story. So let's take the final story, which is about the malaria drive.
Okay, so the federal government this weekend moved to reduce the scourge of malaria in Nigeria with the choice of Africa's richest person, Aliko Dangote, astute businessman Femi Otedola, and the renowned banker Tony Elumelu to lead the fresh efforts, to eliminate the menace. So they spoke at the inauguration of the team in Abuja. That's the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, and he says that the country contributes over a quarter of global malaria cases and about a third of over 600,000 malaria deaths worldwide, mostly affecting children and pregnant women. Then they went ahead to say that all the things that they've been donating, the mosquito nets, the fleet and all of that, are not enough to curb, what is happening. So these three persons who are like the face of the anti-malaria, yes, will drive it and see how they can, give more and see how they can
wish them best
malaria.
of luck.
Yeah.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we continue with the show. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.